Buenos dias, I'm Emily Morrison.
And I'm Olivia Hoddle. In this morning's episode, we will take a trip to the future, check out the football team, and rub elbows with some superheroes.
Right now, from the University of Northern Iowa, this is UNI-TV News.
The UNI Juried Student Art Exhibition is once again upon us. Bryce Berger is here to tell you the story.
On March 24th, the annual Juried Student Art Exhibition opened for the spring semester. This exhibition featured recent works of students enrolled in UNI's art department. I spoke with art director Daryl Taylor and got his reaction of the exhibition.
The annual Juried Student Art Exhibition is always amazing to me and to the faculty and anyone else who visits the gallery. The caliber of work is pretty exceptional.
Daryl went on to explain the difference between this exhibition and others held at the gallery.
The current show is a juried exhibition of the works of students in the Department of Art. And it differs very much from the last exhibition in that this is ongoing work by students in the department as opposed to the last exhibition, which is the work of the faculty in the department.
Daryl then talked about the different types of art held in the exhibition.
We have a wide range of artwork in this exhibition alone. We have drawing, we have painting, we have printmaking and photography, we have sculpture and ceramics, and then a lot of students who are mixing their media. Students are pushing their medium, they're mixing their media, and they're coming up with new forms of expression.
The gallery is open through April 19th. Hours are Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Friday and Saturday, noon to 5 p.m., or by appointment. As you can see, there are numerous artworks to enjoy. For UNI-TV, I'm Bryce Berger.
One of the ways students can get their voices heard is by talking to a counselor. Dakota Funk has more on the UNI Counseling Center and why students should take advantage of it.
The biggest issue really is trying to get in. Initially,
Lacey Jorgensen, a UNI student, has been seeing a counselor at the Counseling Center for about a month. It took a week and a half for them to schedule an initial assessment and a week later for another appointment. The stress of classes and some depression were the main reasons Jorgensen chose to seek counseling.
it's stressful being a student, and I work two jobs part-time, and finances are always an issue, and a variety of other things, class stress, extracurriculars, relationships, family dynamics.
There has been an increase in the number of students using the counseling center this semester. The cold winter and the stress of school have been the main factors. In addition to the number of students coming in, the counseling center's budget does not continue to increase.
In the last couple of years, as the enrollment challenges have hit the university, we've received less money from the mandatory health fee because there are less students enrolled paying the fee. And so that has cut our budget a little bit.
Students can choose how they want to do the appointments depending on their kinds of issues and their availability. Jorgensen sees a counselor on a weekly basis. Though she says she feels better after a counseling session, Jorgensen feels there is room for the counseling center to better accommodate student needs.
If they had a larger staff available, I just feel like they would be able to help more students. And I mean, maybe because I know that they have expressed that I was told that they were, pretty well booked. But they still managed to squeeze students in and stuff. And so I feel like if they had even one or two extra counselors on staff, I feel like they would be able to accomplish more.
Jorgensen feels more students should take advantage of what the counseling center has to offer, since students pay for these fees as part of their tuition.
I feel like overall, going to counseling is beneficial, and it does help a lot of students.
The counseling center continues to improve their accommodations for the students. They are currently investigating the use of a system called Protocol. Protocol is an after-hours phone service which uses graduate-level counselors and social workers to respond to phone calls. If the counseling center were to contract with Protocol, UNI students would be able to talk directly to a counselor after the counseling center has closed. Now, this Protocol service would cost the university just a little over $10,000 per year. Funds the counseling center does not have. Though they do not have these funds, they're hopeful there may be other funding here on campus. Reporting for UNI-TV, I'm Dakota Funk.
AC Glassford sat down with junior guard Brittany Donaldson to reflect on her season and also to talk about Brittany's hidden talent.
Junior guard Brittany Donaldson was coming off knee surgery to start the season. But thanks to help from teammates and a lot of hard work, she was able to play in all 30 games.
It was tough. I wasn't able to run or shoot or do anything really for about 7 months, and I didn't get a practice full until about November. So more mentally though, it was tough, but on the flip side, I had Charnay Lamar right there by me the whole way. She was going through the same situation, had the same surgery at the same time. So that made it a little easier, and it was nice to have a good friend going through the same thing with you. But yeah, it was challenging.
Brittany turned it on in conference play, averaging 13 points a game. She tied a school record in three-pointers made in a game and put up a career-high 34 points against Drake.
It means a lot. It's an honor. I'm in good company there with Jess McDowell and Caitlin Oney and Amber Sorensen. They're all on that record board, and it means a lot, but it wouldn't have meant that much if we lost the game, so it means more that we won the game. I would say my teammates and my coaches have done an amazing job of instilling a lot of confidence in me. You know, even if I miss a few shots, they're still, good shot, Britt, like you'll make the next one. And my teammates have done a great job of recognizing when I'm hot and getting me the ball at those times. And again, my coaches have done a great job of instilling that confidence in me.
Brittany was named Missouri Valley Scholar Athlete of the Week on March 5th. She would later go on to be named to the MVC Scholar Athlete Honorable Mention team.
It's an honor, but at the same time, on the academic end, it's kind of expected of us, of this team, to have and maintain a good GPA. I mean, we were 7th in the nation this year for team GPA in NCAA Division I women's basketball. It's a huge, huge honor, but it's kind of a reputation we have going here is to maintain a good GPA.
I sat down with Moran Lawning to find out what kind of teammate Brittany is.
Brittany is an awesome teammate. She is always looking out for the team no matter what. She'll do anything for the team before herself. She doesn't care who scores. She doesn't care. I mean, she'll either have 20 points one game or no points another game. She's just always working to get that team win. Probably out of anyone on our team gets the most excited after any play. She's always hitting the ground or jumping in the air or fist pumping. And that rubs off on everyone else.
Lawning also told me about Brittany's hidden talents.
She is a really, really good singer and also can play the guitar. She just is really into music, and you would never know that about her because she rarely sings in front of anyone. And when you get to hear it, it is just a treat because she's really, really good.
You'd be standing next to me. I belong to you, and you belong to me. You're my sweetheart. I belong to you, you belong to me. You're my sweetheart. I belong to you, you belong to me. You're my sweet.
Man, I've been singing since I can remember. My mom actually has a video of me. I was 3 years old and I sang an entire album in one sitting and I knew all the words. And I'd say probably from my mom. My mom is a good singer. She was in a band actually when she was younger, but yeah, she's always singing around the house and stuff, so I'd say I got it from her.
Be sure to check out the Panthers and Brittany this next season. Also be sure to subscribe to Brittany's YouTube page. For UNI-TV, I'm AC Glassford.
Yesterday's history, oh. And tomorrow's a mystery, oh. I can see you looking back at me. Keep your eyes on me, baby, keep your eyes on me, 'cause I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. The vacancy that's sat in my heart is a space that now you hold. Show me how to fight for now, and I'll tell you, baby, it was easy coming back into you once I figured it out. You were right here all along. It's like you're my mirror staring back at me, staring back at me.
For our next story, we go to Nathan Grieve, who experienced a bit of the future on our very campus. Tell us more, Nate.
The UNI Commons Ballroom was overrun on April 4th with all manner of computers, robots, and other electronic marvels. 12 school districts showcased their technological triumphs, each one as thrilling as the last. Categories range from three-dimensional rendering software such as SketchUp to video editing and presentation. Many of those who entered were under the age of 16 and already creating highly sophisticated programs. One young man from Cedar Rapids is looking forward to a career with law enforcement, thanks to his wearable GPS tracking system. Pretty good for a 13-year-old. I also spoke with Makokata Senior Austin Sanders, who represents the future of electronic media.
And for the iTech Fair, I produced a video called Technology in Schools to promote the videos that I make in my school, to promote any school events and clubs to our fellow students. What I love most about this technology and the filmmaking is just getting on the computer and just having fun. I just love clicking and dragging the mouse, seeing what works and what doesn't.
His level of determination and passion should remind a lot of UNI students of how they felt when they first enrolled. While exploring, I also met Logan and Hank, two young men who were very excited to share their story with UNI-TV.
He sent this plate to Barack Obama for our summers, for my spirit, and he sent us back this letter. It was autographed, and he sent back a picture.
These students, whether they're in kindergarten or high school seniors, are the face of things to come, and there are plenty more across the nation just like them. It's tough to say for sure, but the future certainly does seem to be in good hands. For UNI-TV, I'm Nathan Grieve.
I am a future Panther.
I am excited for college.
I am building my skills.
I'm trying new things.
I am shaping the future.
I am ready for the real world.
I am a success.
I am UNI.
I am UNI. You can be too. Visit IamUNI.net.
To promote UNI athletics and make events fun to attend is the mission statement created by the Panther Pep Crew, a student organization made up of dedicated students that have a passion for cheering on the Panthers. Here to tell us more is Luke Hansen.
Just being in that athletic atmosphere really gets me going, and I just love being there to support my university and every single one of those guys.
Are you wondering how you can join a group of cool, fun people to hang out with at any sporting event?
If people want to get involved with Panther Pep Crew, there's actually interviews during the fall semester, and they can come and talk to us during any of the football games. And during the fall semester, there's also an activity fair with all of the groups on campus, and we have a big booth out there. And then we also have a Facebook and a Twitter page, so if anyone is interested in joining, they can message either the Facebook page or the Twitter page as well.
But I bet you're wondering who these cool people are. They're known as the Panther Pep Crew here at the University of Northern Iowa.
Panther Pep Crew is a group of people who have an enthusiasm about Panther sports, and they want to show that to the community. So together as a group, our goal is to make Panther sports a part of everyone's life here on campus.
Panther Pep Crew is involved with many sports and organizations here on campus.
We currently work with all of the sports teams here at the university. We mainly have been focusing on football and basketball and volleyball since they are the major sports here, but we are also working with swimming and diving, track and field, soccer, tennis, wrestling, and we're currently working with CATS and SAA, and then we're also trying to just spread the word that we are here as the university and we want to help the university in any way that we can.
It's not just about pumping up the crowd, it's also for the athletes as well.
So coming from an athlete perspective, it's kind of depressing not having a huge crowd there for sports. So we decided that because all of our student athletes put so much time and effort in, that it's the least we can do to go and support them in everything that they've been accomplishing.
A lot of time and effort is put into preparing for the wild crowds to cheer on for our mighty Panthers at all of their events.
The amount of preparation that we put into a game, it depends on what the marketing department wants us to do. Like sometimes we have to put out rally towels and there's flyers and things like that. Sometimes before the game there's events like Panther Kids Club, and we put out newspapers and there's scouting reports and things that we do.
Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers! Let's go Panthers!
Panther Pep Crew is a great opportunity to get to know people and share your passion for sports, so if anyone wants to join, they are more than welcome to, and we will always be in the front row, so if you have any questions, they can always contact us.
Cheering for the Panthers and for UNI-TV, I'm Luke Hansen.
The UNI football team has started their spring practices in the Unidome. Mike Hudson went to find out ways in which they are preparing for next season.
Spring practices are well underway for the UNI football team. The Panthers are coming off a 7-5 season and are looking to build their team upon a solid foundation of returning starters from last year. I got the chance to talk with senior captain and wide receiver Kevin Vereen about what they are doing to prepare for the upcoming season.
Right now in spring ball, it's kind of knocking off the rust a little bit, getting back into the swing of practice and everything like that. But right now we're just focused on, competing, getting faster and everything, being precise at every route that we run, knowing the coverages, working on man coverages, cover two, like that. But yeah, everything that we work on is definitely going to make us sharper for the season coming up.
In the springtime, we're trying to kind of slow things down, do a lot more teaching, get back to the basics. I'm really trying to emphasize, our footwork, coming in and out of breaks, make sure we're clean in and clean and fast out. We're really trying to emphasize, just being tougher in the run game as far as how we block.
The Panthers have 20 returning seniors to this year's team, which they feel will undoubtedly play a big role in the team's overall success.
It's huge, it really is. We had a small senior class last year. And I don't want to say it directly affected some outcomes of the games, but you saw we lost a few close games last year. You always hope as a coach and as a coaching staff that with a large group of seniors that you'll have that senior leadership. This senior class has a lot of guys that have played a lot of football for us. So we're kind of banking on the fact and hoping that those guys will lead our team. And when we get in a tough situation like that, they'll have played enough football and have enough to draw from to be able to pull some of those wins out.
Well, it affects the team greatly. Coach Frawley talks to us and tells us that it's your team pretty much. We got a chance to do something spectacular this year, with the talent we got coming back. Being a leader, all of us being leaders, it's time to put that teamwork together and make it happen.
Vereen had a breakout season as a junior, recording 52 catches for over 700 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Well, obviously Kevin's got a lot of physical gifts. He's a big, tall kid that can run and jump. So just athleticism-wise, he's very blessed and gifted that way. He's got a great knack when the ball's in there. Ball skills is one of those things that you can try and coach, but a lot of kids either they have it or they don't, and he definitely has it.
Oh man, I'm excited about a lot of things. The fact that we get to play Iowa again, we beat Iowa State last year, so we got a lot of momentum going into it. It's a couple of our last years this year, being a senior, being a captain on the team, being a leader for the younger guys, and just being able to, no regrets, playing with no regrets, so I'm excited.
The annual spring football game is set to be held April 25th in the Unidome and is open to the public.
Have you ever caught yourself thinking, what am I doing with my college career?
what's something actually fun I can get involved in on campus? Look no further than Cedar River Productions, or as many know it as CRP. It's the perfect way to gain experience with on-camera acting, learn how to shoot promotional videos, commercials, or short films, and boost your confidence in editing with Adobe Premiere. Come check out one of our CRP meetings every Thursday at 6 p.m. in the Performance Studio of Lang Hall, or like our Facebook page, Cedar River Productions, for the latest updates.
In our next segment, Olivia Hoddle gives us an overview of 4K technology, how it's being used in consumer entertainment, and whether or not people are actually ready for these new devices.
4K technologies are starting to be seen in electronics stores and at the 2014 National Association of Broadcasters show in Las Vegas, but will they be showing up in homes anytime soon?
4K means it's basically 4 times the resolution of our standard 1080 sets, so more pixels, clearer picture, brighter picture, more vivid colors.
Before rushing out and buying a 4K screen, one must consider the different arguments for and against 4K and the implications 4K has on technologies such as gaming and smartphones. But first, one must look at the basics of 4K and whether consumers truly want this technology. There are 3 components that determine at which resolution one views: content, players, and screens. The image will only be as clear as the lowest definition signal. One must watch content filmed or remastered at 4K resolution.
We have a lot of people asking about, is there any content out there? Not a lot at the moment. Sony's coming out with a lot of movies.
One also needs a 4K player in order to output an ultra-high definition video to 4K screens. This can be a device such as Sony's 4K media player, which plays content downloaded from the internet, or a future device that would play 4K broadcast signals, if and when those are developed. Finally, one must have an ultra-high definition screen in order to see 4K clarity.
We've been selling quite a few. I mean, they come in and they see the great picture, and it's a little hard for them to, not buy it with how great it is. So the only thing that's probably keep them from buying it right now is maybe the cost.
The price of a 55-inch screen at maximum sight and sound is $3,000. Smaller 40-inch models are $1,500, though Root has seen prices on all the 4K TVs lowering. There are still some drawbacks to adopting 4K. Some say the human eye cannot perceive the high 4K resolution when viewing from 6 to 10 feet away. Additionally, the average consumer may not even understand 4K. Professionals are also learning to incorporate 4K into their workflows. Matt Miller, the creative video coordinator at Prairie Lakes Church in Cedar Falls, Iowa, recently upgraded to the Canon 1DC, a 4K DSLR camera.
We use 4K in kind of a unique way. We don't actually distribute any of our projects in 4K anywhere, but the beauty of it is it just is such a high amount of resolution that we're able to digitally crop in on the back end and use it for multiple cameras when I just am actually using one, which is great for kind of one-man shows like what we do here. There's some downsides to it. I had to upgrade a lot of my computing hardware just because it's just such a huge data rate. You wouldn't believe how much memory it takes to record 4K. I use 128 gig cards that are like the fastest you can buy, and that gives me about a half hour worth of record time.
Miller says that perhaps there is still a disconnect between 4K and consumers.
My experience has been that most people don't really know what 4K is. They're still kind of coming around to learning what 1080 and 720 mean. And I think that the consumers are typically a little bit behind what's being used in the film industry.
It appears that 4K still has a way to go in consumer minds, yet one can assume that this 4K technology won't be going away anytime soon. I'm Olivia Hoddle with UNI-TV. Alzheimer's disease affects millions of people every day. Mike Lieb shows us how you can make a difference in the lives of those affected by the disease and have a great time doing so.
All over campus, people are getting ready for the ultimate test of mental and physical strength and generosity. The 2014 Quash is here.
Quash stands for Quest to Unravel Alzheimer's Scavenger Hunt, and it's an annual campus scavenger hunt held here at UNI every spring, and we raise money to go towards the Alzheimer's Association. The scavenger hunt consists of a bunch of clues that lead you to places around campus where you have to answer the question. And we also have quash spots, around 5 or 6 quash spots, and Half of them are mental challenges and half of them are like physical challenges.
There are many other ways to win if mental and physical tasks just aren't your thing.
And one of my favorite prizes or categories that we have is the best dressed team. And people will go crazy for this. And last year we had people dressed up like the Quashing Dead, so they dressed up as zombies. And basically at the end of the night we vote to see who the top best dressed team is, and they get a really awesome prize.
Quash proves to be an excellent way to support a great cause.
All of our proceeds go to the Alzheimer's Association, so it supports a really great cause.
Training is essential as the date for Quash grows near.
Quash is April 25th, 2014 this year. Kickoff begins at 5 o'clock at the West Gym. You can register at www.quash@uni.com. So everyone should come out and have fun while supporting a great cause.
People, Quash on!
For more than 125 years, programs in the College of Humanities, Arts, and Sciences have formed a cornerstone at the University of Northern Iowa. Students can pursue a degree in a range of majors that cater to their interests and provide career preparation. Chaz majors enjoy the best of two worlds, the opportunities and state-of-the-art facilities of a larger university with the connection to faculty and hands-on experience of a smaller school. Together, we can build a foundation that will prepare you for your future.
The UNI speech team displayed their talent at the annual speech showcase. Sammy Mallow was there to report.
With 11 students and 43 events qualified for the UNI speech team's national competition, the UNI speech showcase allowed members to share what they've been up to with their fellow students and community.
Tonight's event was kind of just to let the UNI community see what the speech team does. Since we travel constantly during the semester, we don't get to compete or show any of our events to the college and the community that we come out of.
We really want to show you guys and show UNI what we're doing and how successful we are at what we're doing.
The speech showcase also demonstrated how collegiate speech differs from what students may have been involved in while in high school.
I think the biggest thing is the commitment level and the amount of work that goes in, and just the competitive structure is a lot more intense than high school speech.
For a lot of people, especially at Iowa, you did Iowa High School Speech Association, which was a lot more group-based and also had a very different rating system. It was like, if they thought you were good, you get a Division I rating, which is really nice to have. But with college speech, it's all based on you are competing directly against the other people in your round. It's a round of usually about 5 or 6 people, and you're going for the one. You want them to give you first place in the round, 25 points, all that kind of stuff.
There is a high commitment level as the speech team travels frequently to a variety of competitions.
With college speech, we compete at least 2 weekends a month, if not every single weekend a month. And so it's tiring, but there's benefits involved with what we do.
Within speech, there are a number of different speech events.
In speech, we have interp events, PA or public address events, and limited preparation events.
For example,
informational speeches, persuasive speeches. We have after dinner speaking.
It's duo, which is 2 people doing a script or a program.
Dramatic interpretation. There is prose interpretation, poi interpretations.
Extemporaneous speaking and impromptu.
Within the parameters of these events, speech team members take a concept and transform it into a performance.
You start with this idea and then you turn it into something else. You either find literature, like poems or a drama piece about it or something, or you find sources about it and write a speech about it. It's basically whatever fits your needs and what you want to talk about. And some of these things that we're giving speeches about, we're advocates for.
There's a lot of online research, is because we have current topics. but the library gets used every now and then.
Through the hard work and determination, it is a rewarding experience to be a member of the UNI speech team.
It's something that teaches you things you can't learn just in school. Like, if one of us finals, everyone is there to watch. And it's that team cohesion and the team working together, I think, is more important overall than any single event that we do on our own.
I've been so lucky to be part of this team, to be advocating for the people I'm advocating for, to have learned so much through doing, have learned so much about who I am, about what it is to speak and speak for people and speak about things, and at the end of the day, I would not trade that for anything.
This has been Sammy Mallow for UNI-TV.
And we have some breaking news for you. The superheroes have invaded Cedar Falls. My dear anchor comrade Emily Morrison will tell us how the Rod Library was transformed for a unique event.
Rod Library hosted its first mini Comic-Con on Saturday, March 29th.
My husband and I attend Comic-Cons a lot, and last year we went to C2E2, which is the Chicago Comic and Entertainment Expo, and they had a panel there called Hosting Your Own Library Mini-Con, and I went to that and I thought, the Rod Library could totally do this. So I got some ideas there and I brought it back, pitched it to our public relations committee here at the library, and we were all like, yes, we can do that, we need to do that.
After 11 months of planning, Anna's vision was finally brought to life.
I'm most excited about the opportunity to bring the community in to see what the library has to offer, because yes, they came for the Comic-Con, but we also want them to see, our big new learning commons space that we have with all the computers with collaborative workstations.
Community members were invited to see handmade pieces from artists around the Cedar Valley.
It's really cool that people spend time and take time to make those things for others, which is really cool because you don't necessarily find TARDIS necklaces in Claire's or anything. So I think it's cool that people take the time to make that for people who enjoy fandoms and nerdy things and things that you don't normally see in the retail industry.
Attendees could also participate in the trivia contests, get their pictures taken in the photo booth, and much, much more.
We have a children's coloring contest. We have panels from UNI professors and students. We have a costume contest that actually President Rude will be one of the judges on, starting at 4. So there's a lot going on, pretty exciting stuff.
And speaking of costumes, community members went all out. And attendees agree that the event was a hit.
Rod Library, for a small event such as this, did an amazing job. The volunteers here have been extremely helpful in telling you where to go within the library and what's going on.
Reporting from the Rod Library, I'm Emily Morrison for UNI-TV.
Hello, my name is Dwight Watson. I'm the Dean of the College of Education at the University of Northern Iowa. At the University of Northern Iowa, we are excited about preparing teachers and educators and people who provide services throughout the community. Our goal is to educate, serve, and lead. I'm excited about the opportunities that are in my College of Education. If you're interested in becoming a leader, a teacher, or a service provider, come to the University of Northern Iowa.
Many stories go untold at UNI. One such story is the reason for growth behind the organization Art for El Salvador. Margot Sturgis gives you a closer look.
If you're looking for an organization to become a part of, I would suggest Art for El Salvador. I met with Maria Howard and Emily Fioni to find out more about their organization and the projects that they are currently working on.
We're from the student organization Art for El Salvador, and what we do as an organization is use art as a way to uplift impoverished communities in El Salvador. There's an organization, a Des Moines-based organization called Our Sister Parish, and it partners Des Moines-based communities with cantons, like villages in El Salvador. And my church, from home in Dallas Center, is partnered with a community called Canton Virginia. And so I first had the opportunity to travel to El Salvador in the summer of 2009 with my sister. And this was an extremely life-changing experience. It really opened our eyes to the reality that the resources that we so easily take for granted in our own lives, things so basic to us as water and education, food, are really a daily struggle for other people in the world. We couldn't just come back to our comfortable lives in the United States and not actively do something to support the people that we really loved. After our first trip, I really like art, and so I drew some pictures up, did some drawings based off of the pictures that I had taken. And in the summer of 2010, my sisters and I have two sisters, Naya and Sarah, we started Art for El Salvador. And we didn't really have a clear vision as to where this money would go, but we wanted to just raise money and to support our friends in El Salvador. And so I had my drawings, and my older sister made projects, my little sister made projects. She made these hand-painted boxes similar to this. And people in the community got involved as well. And so that first summer, the money we raised went back to the community of Canton, Virginia to help them buy bean seeds. The majority of the families there live on subsistence farming. And so that year they had a really horrible drought, and we were able to give them funds to help them buy seeds so that they could provide for their family in the next year. And so I went back that next fall, and it was really exciting to see, them harvesting their crops, and to see that small, humble effort that we had started just in our rural Iowa community had made a tangible impact. At the end of that summer, my sisters and I were involved in a car accident, and my little sister Sarah, who was 12 years old at the time, she did not survive. And initially we stopped the project. We, as a family, just had to figure out how to operate in the world without Sarah right by our side. And that winter, Naya, my sister, mentioned the idea of building a school in El Salvador. And, that's, at the time, it's a huge idea, it's a huge undertaking, and we didn't know how we were going to get there, but we just decided, let's do it, let's make it happen. And so since that moment, that was winter of 2011, we've been working to make that happen.
So I met Maria in our class. It was arts integration, and our professor was Denise Talixon, and she gave a presentation about Art for El Salvador and their little mission, I guess, to build a school. And it was just her and her family at the time doing like farmers markets. And so then she did a presentation, and it fit perfectly with our class because we were creating lessons that integrated the arts so that we could go to a school called CAL, and we were going to teach these lessons to elementary school kids, and they were going to make art as a result of these lessons, I guess. So our theme was then art from the heart that, correlated with Art for El Salvador, and this art that the CAL students made was going to be then sold at our Art from the Heart event. So at UNI we do these art nights, and it's Art for El Salvador members, and you just come as you please. You don't have to come every time to an art night or to our meetings, but we just like, to have these big art nights where we create every kind of art imaginable. People paint, people draw. We keep going on with these Sarah's boxes because that's what Sarah liked to make, and that's what she made to raise money in the beginning. And so that's one of the aspects that we really like to keep going because she was such a big part of this before she passed.
So right now what we're raising funds to do is renovate this K-6 building, and then also build a 7 through 9 structure in the community so that kids have the opportunity to advance further within their education. And the school will be called La Escuela de Sara Elena, after my little sister. She inspired her sisters, and consequently this outstanding community of people of Art for El Salvador, to do something extraordinary and to build a school in El Salvador in her memory.
To become a part of this organization, you can email Maria Howard at artforelsalvador@gmail.com. And if you just want to find out more about their project, you can visit their Facebook page named Art for El Salvador.
Corey Wagner recently went to Hartman Reserve Nature Center to give us a report on upcoming activities at the Nature Preserve.
I took a trip to the Cedar Falls Hartman Reserve Nature Center to discover what's new and what's on the horizon for the always growing nature preserve in our city.
Yeah, our next big event is April 27th, which is a Sunday, and we're doing our Earth Fair. We do this annually somewhere in and around Earth Day. So it's always in April. And we have fishing, canoeing, kayaking, there's going to be archery, and all these things are free. People can just, it's an open house to come out and participate. There's students from UNI have booths here talking about environmental education. We're also doing a big push for cleanup of some of the flood buyout areas that we recently had turned over to us. So Hartman's going to be growing by an additional 60 acres. And we're going to be cleaning up a lot of the garbage that's down there. So we're looking for volunteers for that event. But if you don't have time to volunteer the whole day, just come out and see what's going on for a couple hours. There's a lot of things for people to do, and it's free. And it's a good way to introduce people to what we do at Hartman. We, aside from the Earth Fair event, we have public programs that go on about every other weekend here throughout the year. In the winter, we have snowshoeing classes, and then we have your stereotypical nature hikes and tree ID classes and wild edible classes. But we also do things that are outside that normal nature center type of programming. We've done beer making classes in the past and hard cider making classes in the past. We've done zombie survival apocalypse classes, and then we do just survival programs every month. Called Bushcraft Survival. People can learn about all these programs by going to blackhawkcountyparks.com. Click on the events tab when you get there, and you'll see all the programs that we offer. And we keep our programs pretty low cost, and usually between $2 and $10 per person, depending on the class.
I noticed looking through the brochure that you offer a lot of different classes for people to take. Can you talk about one that you think college-age people may enjoy?
So one of the classes we have coming up that I think would be popular for college-age people is the PVC bow making class, and that's on June 7th. And then we're going to hold that at Black Hawk Park. Each person that registers for it, it's $10. We have up to 9 registrants, and you'll get we'll make a PVC bow out of PVC pipe, reclaimed PVC pipe, and you'll have a bow that you can shoot for years. That'll be quality as if you bought it in a store, and it costs very little compared to $150, $200 that you'd spend on a recurve bow. You'll get one for $10, and people can register for all the programs by just emailing me at chris.hrnc@gmail.com, and then just include the title of the program and the subject heading, and we'll get you registered. We have a few people registered for that class, but I still have quite a few openings. The other thing I encourage people to do, if you have a bunch of friends that or people in your house or your dorm, that you can get together and contact us, and we can find a date. We'll do a program just for your group. We can custom make a program for you.
Hartman Reserve does a Hunger Games inspired camp. Can you explain what happens in that camp and what people should expect if wanting to sign up for that camp?
Well, each summer we do a Hunger Games camp for high school age kids, middle school to high school age kids. But we have kind of tweaked the same programs that we do for the kids and geared it more towards adults, and we're using it as a kind of a team building. It's Capture the Flag, and we train you in certain skills and over the course of a day, and then we send you out in the arena in small teams. So it's a little bit different than the Hunger Games in that you're in small teams, but in the end there's only one victor. Like, your team gets whittled down until there's only one person through Capture the Flag and by challenging other teams to archery and fire building and trap making and things like that after we've trained you.
Thank you for the interview. Any final comments for the UNI-TV audience?
I guess I can say that I know that a lot of college students don't have a lot of extra spending cash. Hartman's a great place to go because other than the programs, everything's free. You can come to the Nature Center for free. We have Wi-Fi. Bring your coffee, bring your homework out. Like on a Sunday, we're open 1 to 5. If there's not a rental in the big room, you can use that, sit up and watch the birds, work on homework, have a cup of coffee. Hike our trails. We've got miles of trails, and then our trails connect to George Wythe, so you can do great, big loops. I know a lot of college kids probably are running on our bike trails, or using our bike trails and running on our paved trails, and have no idea that the Nature Center, that this building is here. But it's a great resource. It's free, and then the programs that we do are low cost. So I highly encourage you to check them out.
This has been Corey Wagner reporting from Hartman Reserve for UNI-TV. Back to you in the studio.
And finally, here is Zach Wright with part 2 of his in-depth look at UNI's new student teaching pilot program.
I sat down with Dean Watson, who explained to me how our new student teaching pilot program will fit into the vision here at UNI.
Our vision at UNI for the College of Education and teacher education is to focus on preparing the best possible pre-service teachers, those who can educate, serve, and lead. And we feel that the more time that they have in the classroom so that they can interact with students as well as work with cooperating teachers, the better prepared they're going to be. So this year-long pilot allows them to take their first semester of their senior year where they'll be in the classroom with their cooperating teacher, and then they also get to take what we call wraparound courses. So they teach during the day and take courses at the same time. And then in the spring semester of their senior year is like a typical student teaching. But that fall semester allows them to get more acclimated and connected, and then the spring semester allows them just to fly more solo. And the thought is once they finish the school year, they will be entering into their first year with the experiences of almost a second-year teacher.
UNI is already the top school within Iowa for teaching, and Dean Watson believes that this program will help make UNI a premier national program.
Yeah, I think one of the things is that UNI has a great reputation already. It's premier within Iowa. Our thoughts is that we want to lead the state and the nation when it comes to program and practices. So my hope is that students from outer state would come in and look at our program and say, boy, this is pretty unique. This is a boutique program. This is something that I can't get anyplace else. And I'm coming to UNI because I want to engage in a year-long student teaching experience. But one of the things I want to reiterate, Zach, is that it's got to be a parallel program, a program within a program. I really don't think we can gear up to make all student teaching year-long. We don't have the capacity within our immediate area in order to do that, and we would have to totally revamp our undergraduate program so that it could have that wraparound first semester of classes, because we don't want the year-long student teaching to elongate the time that a student will be here. We want it to fit into their program and no additional time.
The pilot program will offer potential students 3 incentives.
So there's like 3 incentives. One is you get more experience. 2, you're going to get the stipend of $2,500. And the third, we hope to negotiate with the superintendents that you have a guaranteed interview, that you have priority in moving towards a job in that district. Currently, there are about 3,000 students who are taking teacher education programs across all of the colleges within the University of Northern Iowa, and that's about 28.9% of the total student body who are somewhat involved in teacher education. This 30 that we are talking about, is just a small percentage of that mighty number that is involved in teacher education. What we really want to know is what are some of the barriers that might prevent you from doing this, and if there are barriers, we want to see if we can eliminate those barriers. So I think that some of our students are tentative because they don't know, this is brand new, and we want them to put all their questions up front. And if there's something that they feel might prevent them from doing this, we want to see if we can eliminate that.
That'll wrap it up for this feature on UNI's new student teaching program. For UNI-TV, I'm Zach Wright.
And now we leave you with this. Panthers out!